First contact and deception. The massive Caltharian warship emerged from hyperspace at the edge of the Sol system, its crystalline hull gleaming under the distant sunlight. High Admiral Vexthor stood on his command deck, mandibles clicking in barely concealed disdain as his sensors analyzed the primitive human vessels scattered throughout their space. Fascinating, he chittered to his second-in-command. They've barely mastered basic fusion drives. It's remarkable they've survived this long without proper guidance. The human ships before him were intentionally unimpressive, bulky freighters and small patrol vessels that seemed to lumber through space. What Vexthor couldn't see were the quantum processors and dimensional shields hidden beneath layers of seemingly crude engineering. On the bridge of the Earth Defense Force flagship Terran Dawn, Admiral Sarah Chen watched the alien vessel through specialized sensors that the Caltharians believed impossible for humanity to possess. Her ship appeared to be nothing more than an outdated command vessel, its hull marked with minor scorch marks and obvious repair patches. "Status of Operation Looking Glass," she asked quietly. Her tactical officer responded just as softly. "All systems nominal, Admiral. Our quantum signature is completely masked. They're seeing exactly what we want them to see." Chen nodded, satisfaction hidden behind a carefully neutral expression. For 3 years, humanity had prepared for this moment. Their quantum scouts had detected the Caltharian Empire's expansion long before first contact, giving Earth precious time to implement their boldest strategy yet. "They're hailing us," her communications officer reported. "Standard first contact protocols." "Very well." Chen straightened her deliberately wrinkled uniform. "Let's give them the show they're expecting." A holographic display flickered to life, revealing High Admiral Vexthor's imposing form. His iridescent carapace shifted through shades of blue and gold, colors that human sinologists had long ago identified as indicating superiority and amusement. "Greetings, representatives of Earth," the alien's translator rendered his clicks and whistles into English. "I am High Admiral Vexthor of the Caltharian Empire. We have come to offer you the benefits of our protection and guidance." Chen bowed slightly, allowing a tremor of awe to enter her voice. "We are honored by your presence, High Admiral. I am Admiral Chen of the Earth Defense Force, though our capabilities are modest compared to your own." As if on cue, one of her bridge officers fumbled with their console, causing a shower of harmless sparks. The Caltharian admiral's mandibles twitched in what their intelligence suggested was barely suppressed laughter. "Indeed," Vexthor responded. "Our scans indicate your technology is primitive by our standards. But fear not, the Caltharian Empire is generous with those who accept our leadership." Throughout the solar system, humanity's true fleet waited in dimensional pocket space, their quantum-linked weapons powered down but ready. Advanced sensor arrays and defense platforms lay hidden beneath the facade of outdated satellites and clumsy defense stations. "We would be grateful for any assistance you might offer," Chen replied, watching as more Caltharian ships emerged from hyperspace. Their formation was exactly what Earth's tactical eye had predicted. The standard pattern used by an empire that had grown overconfident through countless one-sided first contact scenarios. "Excellent." Vexthor's translator rendered his pleased chittering. "We will begin a survey of your system. Please provide us with all relevant data about your defensive capabilities and resource distribution." "Of course, High Admiral. We have nothing to hide." As Chen's crew transmitted carefully crafted false data to the Caltharian fleet, she allowed herself a small smile. The game had begun, and humanity's greatest weapon was already working perfectly: the enemy's absolute certainty in their own superiority. The web of subterfuge. The following weeks saw a carefully choreographed dance throughout the solar system. Caltharian survey ships moved methodically through Earth's territory, their crews meticulously documenting what they believed to be humanity's painfully obvious technological limitations. Commander Maya Patel stood in the hidden control center beneath Lunar Base Alpha, watching through quantum-shielded sensors as another Caltharian scout passed overhead. The base's visible surface was a deliberate collection of crude dome structures and outdated solar arrays. Below ground, a network of advanced quantum factories continued producing the weapons and ships that would soon be needed. Another scanning pass, her sensor officer reported. They're focusing on our primitive fusion reactors again. Maya smiled. Let them look. How are the holographic crews performing? Perfect synchronization. The surface crews' simulated mistakes and inefficiencies are exactly what they expect to see. Throughout the solar system, humanity's deception grew more elaborate. Cargo ships made clumsy course corrections, patrol vessels demonstrated embarrassingly basic weapons capabilities, and communication channels were filled with carefully scripted chatter about outdated technology. High Admiral Vex Thor's reports to the Caltharian Empire grew increasingly confident. His latest transmission, intercepted by Earth's quantum arrays, spoke of a painfully young species in desperate need of proper guidance. On Mars, Colonel James Wilson supervised the final preparations of Strike Group Omega, 30 of Earth's most advanced warships hidden in dimensional pocket space. Their quantum-linked weapons were capable of targeting multiple ships simultaneously across vast distances, a technology the Caltharians believed impossible for any species to develop independently. Message from Command, his communications officer announced. The Caltharians have requested a full demonstration of Earth's defensive capabilities. Wilson grinned. Perfect timing. Tell Admiral Chen we're ready whenever she needs us. In high orbit around Jupiter, the Caltharian Survey Fleet's commander, Sub-Admiral Kexthal, compiled his findings with growing amusement. His scans showed primitive fusion drives, basic particle weapons, and pitifully weak shields. The humans' attempts at space combat doctrine seemed to consist mainly of forming straight lines and simple geometric patterns. These humans are even more primitive than we initially assessed, he reported to Vex Thor. Their lunar base can barely maintain atmospheric containment. I observed their maintenance crews requiring 3 attempts to repair a simple pressure leak. The leak had been a carefully staged performance by holographic actors, monitored by quantum sensors that tracked exactly what the Caltharians were watching and modified the display accordingly. Deep within Earth's Quantum Command Center, Admiral Chen reviewed the latest intelligence. The Caltharians had positioned their ships exactly as predicted, their formation optimized for intimidation rather than actual combat. Their arrogance had led them to concentrate their forces in a way that would prove disastrous once Earth revealed its true capabilities. Final status report, she ordered. Strike Groups Alpha through Omega report ready. Quantum weapon platforms are charged and synchronized. Dimensional shields are stable and undetected. The Caltharians still believe our orbital defense grid consists of nothing but primitive kinetic weapons and basic energy shields. Chen nodded, reviewing the holographic display showing the positions of Earth's hidden forces. The Caltharians had walked into their trap with precisely the level of overconfidence humanity had spent years cultivating. Message from High Admiral Vex Thor, her communications officer announced. They're requesting a formal meeting to discuss the terms of Earth's protection. Excellent. Inform all commands. Operation Hubris enters its final phase tomorrow. Let's show our Caltharian friends exactly what happens when you underestimate humanity. As the solar system grew dark, Earth's hidden fleet waited in their dimensional pockets, their crews ready and their weapons primed. The greatest naval ambush in human history was about to begin, and only one side knew it was coming. The ultimatum. High Admiral Vex Thor's flagship descended into low Earth orbit with calculated majesty, its crystalline hull catching the sunlight in ways designed to inspire awe. Below, in the carefully staged United Earth Government Chamber, human representatives adjusted their intentionally outdated formal wear and practiced their expressions of nervous anticipation. The Caltharian delegation has entered the atmosphere, President Sarah Martinez whispered to Admiral Chen. Like everything else about this meeting, her whisper was deliberately loud enough to be picked up by Caltharian surveillance devices. Remember, Chen replied at the same volume, we must appear grateful for their protection. Earth cannot afford to seem uncooperative. The chamber's doors opened with a dramatic flourish as High Admiral Vexthor entered, flanked by his most impressive warriors. Their biomechanical armor gleamed, sensors constantly scanning for threats they were certain couldn't exist. Representatives of Earth, Vexthor's translator boomed, his mandibles clicking in what human xenologists had identified as smug satisfaction. The time has come to formalize your world's relationship with the Caltharian Empire. President Martinez stepped forward, her hands visibly trembling. We are honored by your presence, High Admiral. Earth stands ready to hear your generous terms. Throughout the solar system, hidden quantum sensors tracked every movement of the Caltharian fleet. In dimensional pocket space, Strike Group Commander Maya Patel watched as the alien ships settled into their standard intimidation formation above Earth's major cities. Just like the tactical AI predicted, her executive officer noted. They're not even maintaining proper combat spacing. Overconfidence makes for poor strategy, Patel replied. Status of Operation Hubris. All strike groups report ready. Quantum weapon platforms are synchronized. We're just waiting for the signal. Back in the chamber, Vexthor activated a holographic display showing Earth's solar system. Your species has shown remarkable potential, despite your technological limitations. Under our guidance, you will serve a vital role in the Empire's continued expansion. He gestured to various points in the display. We will establish primary bases here, and here. Your existing facilities will be upgraded to proper Imperial standards. Your fleet will be integrated into our patrol forces, though naturally, they will require extensive modernization. Admiral Chen allowed her face to show carefully measured concern. And if we were to decline this generous offer? Vexthor's carapace shifted to deep crimson, a color that human intelligence knew signified absolute authority. That would be most unfortunate. While we prefer willing participation, the Empire cannot allow potentially dangerous species to develop independently. Your protection will be ensured, one way or another. Through quantum-encrypted channels, Chen sent a single word to Earth's hidden forces. Ready. The terms are quite simple, Vexthor continued, his translator failing to mask the predatory satisfaction in his tone. You will immediately provide us with a complete inventory of your military assets, surrender control of your orbital defense systems, and accept Caltharian oversight of all technological development. In return, you will receive the benefits of Imperial protection and guidance. President Martinez stood, her voice wavering. And how long do we have to consider these terms? Consider? Vexthor's mandibles clicked in amusement. My dear primitive friends, you misunderstand. This is not a negotiation. You have one planetary rotation to begin the integration process. Any delay or resistance will be met with appropriate force. As if on cue, the chamber's primitive viewing screens showed Caltharian warships moving into position above Earth's major cities. Their weapon ports opened in a synchronized display of power, energy signatures pulsing in what they assumed would be a terrifying light show. Of course, Martins replied, bowing deeply. We will inform our people immediately. Earth accepts your protection. Vexthor's carapace rippled with pleasure. Excellent. You show wisdom beyond your technological level. Prepare your facilities for immediate inspection. The Empire will begin upgrading your pathetic defenses tomorrow. As the Caltharian delegation departed, Admiral Chen sent another encrypted message through quantum channels. Operation Hubris is go. All units prepare for Phase 1. Show these arrogant bastards exactly what humanity is capable of. Throughout the solar system, hidden in dimensional pockets the Caltharians believed impossible to create, humanity's true fleet powered up their weapons. The greatest military deception in human history was about to reach its climax. Reversal of fortune. The Caltharian fleet hung in Earth's orbit like a constellation of crystalline daggers, their weapon ports still glowing from their display of force. High Admiral Vexthor stood on his command deck, watching with satisfaction as his ships maintained their intimidation formation above Earth's major cities. Begin the integration process, he ordered. Have our engineering teams prepare to upgrade their pathetic orbital defenses. Suddenly, his sensor officer's mandibles clicked in confusion. High Admiral, I'm detecting unusual energy readings from the lunar surface. Probably their primitive fusion reactors struggling to maintain power, Vexthor dismissed. These humans can barely. His words cut off as the seemingly crude lunar base shimmered and disappeared, replaced by a massive complex of quantum weapon platforms. Throughout the solar system, dimensional pockets began to collapse, revealing Earth's true fleet. Impossible, Vexthor whispered, his carapace paling to ash gray. Their technology, they couldn't have. Admiral Chen's voice crackled through all Caltharian communication channels, her previous tone of submission replaced by steel. High Admiral Vexthor, perhaps we should discuss different terms. Hundreds of Earth's most advanced warships emerged from dimensional space, their quantum-linked weapons already locked on target. The bulky, primitive vessels the Caltharians had observed for weeks vanish, revealed as nothing more than elaborate holograms. All ships, battle formations. Vexthor screamed, but it was too late. His fleet was completely surrounded, caught in the same ceremonial pattern they had used to intimidate countless other species. Strike Group Alpha, execute, Chen ordered. Commander Maya Patel's vessels struck first, their quantum weapons firing in perfect synchronization. Beams of energy that the Caltharians had believed impossible for any species to harness lanced through space, bypassing shields and striking with surgical precision. 20 Caltharian vessels disabled, Patel reported calmly. Their weapon systems and engines are offline. No casualties. Throughout the solar system, Earth's hidden fleet revealed itself. Strike Group Omega emerged from dimensional space near Mars, their advanced ships making the Caltharian vessels look primitive by comparison. Colonel Wilson's voice joined the command channel. Strike Group Omega, engaging secondary targets. Clean shots only. We want to disable, not destroy. Vexthor watched in horror as his fleet's supposedly superior weapons bounced harmlessly off Earth's quantum shields. How? He demanded. You were primitive. We saw your technology. You saw what we wanted you to see, Chen replied. For years we've watched your empire expand, observed how your arrogance led you to underestimate species after species. We prepared accordingly. The Caltharian command ship shuddered as precision strikes disabled its primary systems. Throughout the fleet, carefully targeted quantum beams shut down ship after ship, leaving crews unharmed but completely powerless. Status report, Chen commanded. 80% of Caltharian vessels disabled. Her tactical officer responded. Remaining ships are standing down. No casualties on either side. This is impossible. Vexthor chittered, his translator struggling to convey his shock. Your species, you were barely capable of interstellar flight. A species that appears harmless isn't necessarily helpless, High Admiral, Chen replied. Perhaps it's time for the Caltharian Empire to reconsider its policy of judging civilizations by their apparent level of technology. Within an hour, the entire Caltharian fleet had been neutralized. Earth's true defensive capabilities stood revealed. Quantum weapon platforms, dimensional pocket technology, and ships that made the Empire's finest vessels look obsolete. Now then, Chen's voice carried a hint of satisfaction. Shall we discuss those terms again? This time, perhaps as equals. Victory and aftermath. In the weeks following what became known as the Terra Revelation, the balance of power in the galaxy shifted dramatically. The Great Hall of the United Earth Government, no longer maintaining its facade of primitive construction, hosted representatives from both humanity and the Caltharian Empire for unprecedented peace talks. High Admiral Vexthor, his once proud carapace now a humble shade of gray-blue, sat across from Admiral Chen and President Martinez. The chamber's quantum holographic displays showed real-time updates from across the solar system as Earth's fleet helped restore power to the disabled Caltharian ships. Your deception was complete, Vexthor admitted, his translator conveying genuine respect. Never in the Empire's history have we encountered such strategic brilliance. We had good teachers, Chen replied. Your Empire's own history showed us exactly how to appear harmless. Every species you've subjugated provided us with another lesson in what you expect from primitive civilizations. The holographic displays shifted to show Earth's true defensive capabilities. Quantum factories throughout the solar system continued producing advanced technology that the Caltharians had believed impossible. Ships moved freely through dimensional pocket space, their quantum-linked weapons maintaining a vigilant watch. But why? Vex Thor asked. Why maintain such an elaborate deception? With your technology, you could have dominated us from the start. President Martinez leaned forward. Because we wanted to break the cycle. Your Empire's habit of judging species by their apparent technological level has led to countless unnecessary conflicts. We chose to demonstrate a better way. Reports flowed in from across Caltharian space. The revelation of Earth's true capabilities had sparked a revolution in imperial thinking. Worlds previously dismissed as primitive were being reassessed. The Empire's policy of technological superiority as a basis for diplomacy was crumbling. The terms we offer are simple, Martinez continued. Earth will share some of our technological advancements, gradually and responsibly. In return, the Caltharian Empire will reform its first contact protocols. No more subjugation, no more protective guidance of species you deem inferior. Vex Thor's mandibles clicked thoughtfully. And if we refuse? Then nothing changes, Chen replied calmly. Earth has revealed only a fraction of its true capabilities. We remain perfectly capable of defending ourselves and our allies, but we prefer cooperation to conflict. In orbit, Commander Maya Patel supervised the restoration of the Caltharian fleet. Their ships, once thought superior, were being upgraded with carefully selected Earth technologies, a gesture of good faith for the new era of cooperation. It's strange, her Caltharian counterpart remarked, watching Earth's quantum engineers at work. We thought we were uplifting a primitive species, but you were testing us all along. Patel smiled. Sometimes the best way to teach a lesson is to let others discover it themselves. Your Empire needed to learn that appearance doesn't equal capability, and that true strength lies in cooperation, not domination. The peace talks concluded with the signing of the Terra-Caltharian Accords. The agreement would reshape galactic politics, establishing new protocols for interspecies contact based on mutual respect rather than technological assessment. As the Caltharian delegation prepared to depart, Vex Thor approached Admiral Chen one last time. You could have destroyed us, he said quietly. Why show mercy? Chen's response encapsulated humanity's philosophy. Because true power isn't about destruction. It's about having the capability for violence, but choosing peace instead. Earth didn't want to prove we were stronger than the Caltharian Empire. We wanted to prove there was a better way for advanced civilizations to interact with others. The Caltharian ships departed Earth's orbit, their crews forever changed by the experience. Throughout the galaxy, the story spread, how humanity had orchestrated the greatest military deception in known history, not to dominate, but to teach. In the years that followed, Earth emerged as a different kind of galactic power, one that judged civilization